All right, again, as you begin this, I suggest that you start with your area formula. So we're dealing with a triangle. Area is equal to 1/2 base times height. And the only piece of information we know is the area. So let's plug that in. We get 100 is equal to 1/2 base times height, which we don't know. Okay. The fact that all these sides are equal means, does it matter which side you choose as your base? No, it's all going to be the same. So let's say we choose the bottom as our base. If that's our base, then our corresponding height is going to be this perpendicular to the opposite vertex. Okay, what's unique about an equilateral triangle when you draw in your altitude? Cuts it into what, Jacob?
It makes two 30, 60, 90 triangles.
Good. So remember when we talked about 30, 60, 90s, we learned about them as being half of an equilateral triangle. And so if you were just to label the basic special form of a 30, 60, 90, the side opposite 30 degrees is x, the hypotenuse is 2x, and the side opposite 60 degrees is x root 3. Now, if I just leave that right here, can I fill in some measurements for the base and height here? What is my base of this triangle? 2x. And what is the height of my triangle? X root 3. And so now I have this equation set up with one variable. That's all I need in order to solve. And so if you're using your calculators, you can just solve that equation for x. Okay, so if I'm going to solve this, I go to my Algebra tab F2, type my equation exactly as it appears. 100 is equal to 1/2 times 2x times x square root 3. Solving for x, close off the parentheses. Once again, I don't have any decimals in there, so I'm going to use the green diamond to give me a decimal answer or an approximation. And now when I hit enter, I have my solution for x. Now, when I look at this, again, the solution up here gives me the plus or minus. I don't need to consider the negative because you're not going to have any negative lengths. Okay? But is the answer 7.6? I can guarantee if I gave you a test that was multiple choice, 7.6 would be one of your distractor choices. And if it was a handwritten, like a test that you did by hand, it's probably going to be, it'll probably come before the correct answer. So that if you just looked to see what A or B was, and you saw that it was a number that you came up with on your calculator, you might be likely to fill it in. And some of you maybe saw that with your final, when you looked over it, that you marked answers that were just part of the calculation. Be very careful, know what you're looking for. It's part of why I always sketch things or label things correctly. X is 7.6, but we want the whole side. Well, the whole side is what? It's 2 of those. So what I need to do then is I need to pull that number down. Okay, I'm going to delete all the pieces that come in front of it, the x equals, and then also the opposite value. And I'm going to multiply that by 2. And when I do, I get my solution that the side itself is approximately 15.2. The units are feet. It's a one-dimensional measurement. So I get 15.2 feet as my solution.